Symphony, it's been really interesting the last hour or so. Earlier this morning, it was driving wind and rain, but when we got here to Milford, the wind was actually calm and the sun was peeking out. But that's starting to change. I want you to see behind me here, this is the sound, and through the course of the night, the wind was coming in out of the east, piling up the water in the sound. Now what we've seen happen is the wind turn around and come in from the south. And that's not a good direction. It means it's chopping up the water more. It'll make more splash over as the wind comes right in off the ocean. And we're still about 2 hours out from high tide here in Milford. Moderate coastal flooding expected, and we're already past the normal high tide mark, even 2 hours out from the high tide. Now, one of the big concerns, we'll walk this way, this is Bayview Beach area of Milford. It's a part of town that's known to flood in storms like this. There's already a couple of feet of water just behind our news vehicle here. A lot of this from the heavy rain that fell overnight last night. So you consider we're still more than 2 hours out from high tide, and we're likely to have water going up over the seawall, over the sand, and down into this neighborhood. There are going to be flooded roads near the shoreline through much of the morning. As Matt has been talking about, that coastal flood warning is in effect. So that goes until 1 o'clock this afternoon. And it's really about 2 hours either side of high tide. High tide is actually earlier down the shoreline in New London, which is why in New London, in Groton, in Mystic, we already have significant flooding there. We're expecting scenes like that to become more common on our part of the shoreline here in Milford, in places like East Haven, as we go through the morning as well. So if you're in that lull, don't be fooled at the shoreline, because the tide is coming. High tide here about 10:45 this morning, and we'll have updates for you all morning long. That's the latest live in Milford. I'm meteorologist Ryan Breton, Fox 61 News.